All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video of Chosen Faith. I know I haven't dropped in a very long time, but I just got a new job. I've been a little busy, and I'm trying to, just figure out how to make time for everything in my life right now. Um, I'm on the road right now. I just made it to Abilene, Texas, where I'm originally from, because this weekend is 1 year of my grandma passing away, so we're coming to do like a balloon release and things of that nature. But yeah, as you guys can see, I'm in the car right now, and I haven't made a video in so long. And today, it was just on my heart to talk about, lust, right? So, I've been going through a very, just exposing time period. I've asked God to fully be delivered from the spirit of lust when it comes to sexual immorality and things of that nature. And I struggled with things like masturbation, just sexual immorality, fornication, sex before marriage. A lot of my time in college, the basis of it, I started, watching certain videos, adult content, and masturbating around, I think, ninth grade. Like, was my first time ever doing it, and then it was so bad. Like, after my first time, I probably did it like every single day while I was in high school. Like, I don't think it was a day I missed. It was pretty bad, but I really didn't start, just indulging in things like sex until I graduated high school. So like all of high school, I was a virgin, and college is really where I started. The lust had already been there from the masturbation and things of that nature, but I had really started to you know have sex with women and things of that nature. And after I had did it the first time, it was just like I became so curious of what the experience would be like with other people. So it'd be times to where like I'll have sex with a girl, do whatever, right? And then like a couple hours later, I was just so addicted to the feeling of the temporary pleasure that I probably would masturbate. Like, it was just so crazy, like a crazy time experience for me just in college. But it was a point in time where lust almost cost me my life. And what, sophomore year, I had been in a relationship probably for about a year and a half at this point. No, maybe like a year and some change. And we have been going through a struggling time period, and we became like single. So this is my first time genuinely in about a year that I felt like kind of free, if you could say. Um, and it was probably about a week of us just not talking, being broken up, and things of that nature. I was started to talk to this other girl for a couple days. We were hanging out, and on like our third day of just hanging out together and stuff, like I started realizing like I was talking to so many girls at one time, and this one specifically was very bad because this girl that I was hanging out with used to be friends with the girl that I just got a relationship with. I know a lot of y'all gonna cook me for that one, but it was crazy, right? And we had been talking, and I had just started to think like this isn't right. Like, regardless if me and a girl are not together anymore, if people find out about this, this is going to be crazy. Like, but in my mind, I'm just like, okay, whatever. So the day, the actual day, I was robbed. That's where it led to. Like, I ended up being robbed. In college, it was a lot of like car break-ins outside of my school. My school was a private school, so they were coming to like our outside parking lot that was outside of the school, or cars that were parked like alongside the elementary, alongside the institution. Um, they were just like breaking into cars. Like, two of my friends got their car broken into. One got stolen. This is when the Kia boys was really popping and just doing things of that nature. And I had been riding with my friend Said. We were just talking about it today, and I had been riding with him, and we was just talking and just riding, and we was just talking, like having our deep homeboy to homeboy talks. And I had said like how like my biggest fear was being robbed, and we were just explaining like, man, being robbed is like one of the biggest fears for me because it's like when you're put in that position, what do you really do? Like you can't just sit there and try to act tough. You can't just, just be this big and bad person. Like you're vulnerable. And especially at the time, like I don't have a firearm. I didn't own one. I was on a college institution where you couldn't even have one. And so in that time period, it was just like that was my worst fear, and we was just like, man. He was like, man, me too. Like I don't know how I would, da 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 da, boom. Um, Later on that same night, this is when it starts to get dark a little bit earlier. Daylight savings. I'm not sure. Don't clown me for that either. But yeah. I remember I was trying to just find any excuse for me to stop talking to the girl, and we were just going back and forth, and I had remembered like I was telling my homeboy like nah, like I'm finna stop talking to her or whatever, like it's just not good and things of that nature. So I invited her to my car. We went like literally around the corner, like 1 minute from the school. Like you literally turn on one street and then turn again, and it's a cul-de-sac. And mind you, I've been at this cul-de-sac when I smoking with my friends at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'd had sex in this area, like in my car in this area. All right, y'all. I had to switch phones. My bad. I had to switch phones because my other one overheated from the sun. But yeah, and I'm starting to getting a little sweaty myself. But yeah. So I had picked her up. We went to this little cul-de-sac around the corner from the school, and we were talking for a little bit, talking, and then this one like, I was like, oh, let's get in the back seat and let's do this, let's do that, and I probably wasn't in the back seat for more than a minute, and we just, she was like, you see that, and I looked through my rearview mirror, and I just see two guys just creeping up to my car, and they had ended up putting their guns in the window, like get out the car, get out the car. So I was stuck, I was froze, I was kind of froze and things of that nature, and I really didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do at all, and so um, I didn't. I was just froze. I was just standing there, like I was just looking. I was like, bro, ain't no way. She was like, Jaqueline, like you got to get out. You got to get out. So we finally get out the car. Mind y'all, I left my phone in the front seat. I left my slides in the front seat. She left her phone, her wallet, all of that stuff in the front seat. So we're in the back seat, like I have on a jumpsuit, like a Nike hoodie, Nike sweat, some socks. She has on like a shirt, some shorts, and like she's barefooted, like she had on sandals. And yeah, like so they robbed me. I got out the car, me and her had the gun pointed to my face while they got in the car and they just drove off. And so I had to go back to campus. My campus was small, messy, was really bad, but go back to campus. We had to walk back, jump the gate, call the police, and things of that nature. And that was my first time ever of seeing how lust could have almost cost me my life. Um, and what's so sad, I wasn't in tune with God at the moment, so it was like that wasn't a lesson. That wasn't enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't enough for me to go back to God because I didn't really know like what sexual immorality was. I didn't know having sex before marriage was bad. All I felt in my mind, what I was taught from society, was basically that as long as you have like a girlfriend, or if you're just not doing it with multiple people, like it's not really that bad. Like sex before marriage is a choice, and which it kind of still is a free will choice, but it's law to not do it outside of God's design. And this was just a testimony for young men, man. Like, lust can lead you to some bad places, and it could get way worse than this. It could get way worse. I could have lost my life being, brave or tough. But I was, by the grace of God, He had to show some wrath, but it was in a very passive way. Like, okay, I just lost something that was materialistic. I lost my phone. Phone was left in the car. They ended up throwing it out. I think I had my wallet. Lost my sandals. I had like 3 or 4 pair of shoes in my trunk that they either sold, stole, or whatever they did. She had credit cards and stuff. They were running it up on her stuff, and I think the only reason they were truly and genuinely clocked because they was like young. They was real young, so of course they not really doing nothing. Like they don't know what they're doing. They're not. They're young. They just doing stuff and don't even know what come with what's the price to pay. But uh, it made me realize lust has been one of the biggest things that I've always, just struggled with. Like I go to the gym, sometimes I have wandering eyes, like I'm looking, and all of these things I fantasize about certain things just from seeing women. And I'm in a place to right now where I really want to, I want to be married. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have a covenant, and I have many of soul ties and things and bondages that's bonded with my spirit that's not aligned with God because I did it outside of His design. And so my advice to the young men today, bro, society makes it cool for you to have sex with multiple people, for you to lust over women and things of that nature, but they never tell you about the price to pay on the back end. You know, sometimes it leads to diseases that you can't get away with, that you can't get rid of for the rest of your life. Sometimes it leads to death. A lot of the times it leads to one of these two. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it leads to certain, wrath. God has a passive wrath now. It's not He's just sending floods. Nah, you're gonna pay the consequence of you just being disobedient to His word. So whatever that looks like for you, that's what'll happen. And I feel like right now, where I'm at in life of trying to be delivered, I'm going on 3 months now from abstaining from abstaining from sex, but I haven't went that long. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like I probably went like 2 weeks right now from abstaining from like masturbation and just being worked on. Like God has been really exposed, and I've been remembering like sexual activities that I've done that I low key forgot about. Like that's sad. Like I was riding back home and like all these memories had just started popping up in my head about all of these different things, and they weren't even like flashbacks of me wanting to go back to that time, but just excuse me, just me remembering like how lustful I have been, how far I was away from God, and how all of these things have kind of set me back. And now it's a struggle trying to be delivered because I did something outside of God's design, and now like I yearn for it. Like, oh, I want to feel this, or sometimes I want to masturbate just to feel a relief from stress and things of that nature. But if you just, if you catch it earlier, the earlier the better, right? So for me, I'm 22 years old, and it's still a little early. God willing, it's early, and I'm catching on to it. So that way, down the line, it's not affecting me. But if you 16, 17 years old, man, you a teenager, and you watching this video, bro, stay away from lust. Read the word. Just abide in the word, man. Just abide in the word. Abide in it, man, and it'll save you from a lot. Don't fall into what this society tells you to be like with women, because bro, once you get to a certain age, it's not cool. Like, yeah, that pride and all of that you're going through as a young man, that oh, I slept with this girl, I slept with that girl, bro. After a while, you start like, now I look at myself in disgust, like, man, you slept with this girl, you slept with that girl, you didn't even know her favorite color, you didn't even know like what's her endeavors in life, you didn't even know this, you didn't know that, you didn't take this girl serious, and she really cared for you. You was just there for the pleasure of your own self, the pride. And it's a disgusting feeling with myself. But we're growing, we're getting better. There's no condemnation in those who live righteously with God. I'm a sinner. I've sinned before, but I know if I confess my transgressions and I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins, then I can be saved. And I'm working in the process of now just surrendering to God and letting Him transform and renew my heart and mind. But man, lust almost took my life. Don't let it take yours, man. I pray for all the young men out there um, that face and struggle with this, and I pray that God can just move through your life. And yeah, man, that's just the end of this video. I'm kind of in a rush. I'm finna go spend some time with my family. I just wanted to do this video. I appreciate y'all so much for, these past couple of days. We just hit 600 subscribers, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that my testimony is being able to be a seed in another young man's life. But just take my story as, just take my story as a testimony for you to just not live how I did, man. Just don't. But man, this is a Chosen Faith channel where we rewire the brain and the mindset of the young man from what society has taught him. My name is Jaquela Sutton, and I pray that y'all have a blessed day.